can you stop a vehicle in order to serve a temporary protective order? My name is Anthony Bandiero, attorney and senior legal instructor for Blue Gold Law Enforcement Training, bringing you another roadside chat. So let's see if we know where this question came from. So anyway, looks like Illinois. So the officer says, all right, so we have a temporary protective order. You may call them, EPOs, emergency protective orders. They're called different things, but essentially it's a judge saying, hey, go serve this on this person, and it's a stay away order. They can't go back to the marital home. They can't go to the victim's house, or work, or whatever it is, right? Don't call the person. Don't call the victim. And can we make this traffic stop in order to effectuate and serve this temporary protective order? And according to the only really case I can find on it, the answer is no. And let's look about some ground rules here. The first thing is, when can you seize a person? You can seize a person when you have either their consent, right? Or, really that's kind of rare, isn't it? I mean, it can happen, but mostly that's just a consensual encounter. You can have a consensual encounter or a recognized exception like reasonable suspicion or probable cause, or a warrant. Now, when you have a traffic stop, that's not consent. They're not telling you, hey, do me a favor, pull me over. There's no sign on the back of their car saying that they like to be pulled over by police. The next thing is a recognized exception based on reasonable suspicion or probable cause. The problem here is that this is neither, right? At the time of seeing that person in the vehicle, are they, engaged in any criminal activity, right? Is having a TPO, issued against you reasonable suspicion at that time of criminal activity? Of course it's not. There's no violation yet, right? So you don't have reasonable suspicion of criminal activity. You don't have probable cause. If you don't have reasonable suspicion, you definitely don't have probable cause. And so the traffic stop is presumptively unlawful, right? As the Supreme Court has held time and time again, all warrantless searches and seizures are presumptively unlawful, right? Unless there's a recognized exception. And then the third way to encounter these people is through a warrant. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, well, Anthony, the judge, signed that warrant. Signed that TPO. So isn't it in many respects a warrant? Well, no, because a warrant contemplates a specific thing. Like it contemplates a specific, search of a house and so forth. You don't. The order does not say, hey, you can stop this person anytime and anywhere. It has to be served per the statutes of your state, which is in-person service and leaving at the person's residence or something like that. So the case I'm going to use here is a case called Commonwealth versus Richard Sanborn. I'll leave the case below, but this was a case where the officers had a temporary protective order for Sanborn. They saw him driving. They stopped him to serve it, and he's actually intoxicated. So he gets arrested for the DUI, and Sanborn saying, hey, that stop was unlawful. Like, the only reason you stopped me is to serve this protective order. And the cop's like, but hold on. Our statute says that we are to use every reasonable means to enforce abuse prevention orders, right? So the TPOs. But the court said, and this is, in Massachusetts, they're like, well, the problem is that statute cannot authorize the police to violate the U.S. Constitution, right? And so, as they said, again, a search or seizure conducted without a warrant is presumptively unreasonable. And warrantless seizures may be reasonable, however, if the circumstances of the search fall within an established exception and so forth. And they talk about what are the common exceptions. And they said that we cannot read this law to circumvent the constitutional protections of the Fourth Amendment and also of the state constitution, right? So they basically said that the statute cannot authorize a stop in absence of constitutional justification, such as reasonable suspicion, a traffic violation, or some kind of reasonable belief that intervention is necessary. So I believe the outcome would be different if the victim of that abuse was in the car, right? Yeah, we want to, hey, you can't be around each other. This is the order, right? I think you can do that. But they're talking about you're going to have to just go the other ways. Now, again, I don't know if they got it right. I understand the logic. right? I definitely understand that, in order to seize somebody, you have to have consent, reckon's exception, or a warrant. And again, I throw out consent there because it does sound kind of weird that people are going to give consent to seize them. But you're looking for that thing, at least a consensual encounter. If you have a consensual encounter, they're not seized. But the point is this court found that this was an unreasonable seizure, and there's not even a dissent in it. So did they get it right? I think so. Based on what I'm seeing here, but I'm on the edge. Maybe there's a court out there that would say, even though the victim is not in the car, you still want to warn this driver to not contact the victim. Like, it's almost like preventing abuse. I can also see that, but they may also want some reason to believe that could occur. So, maybe you can look at the notes, you can look at the affidavit filed by the victim, and you can, let's say that the suspect is coming by my house, every day and throwing up gang signs. And then you see this person, and where are they? They're in the area of where the victim lives, and that may be like, no, we want to prevent that from happening in the first place. So I hope this helped. It's a conversation. It's a very interesting topic. Maybe if you're not sure, what your state's going to do here, maybe just follow the person, and either you get a lawful stop because they violated some other traffic violation, then you can serve it. I don't think that's an unlawful extension of the traffic stop. I would back that up. Or if you can't find anything, wait for them to park and then make a consensual encounter, then serve them in person. If you like what we're doing around here at Blue to Gold, hey, do me a favor, hit like, subscribe, share with your friends, and until next time, my friends, you stay safe.